quick little video as I kind of break out the knives for the season, make sure everything's sharpened. I'm kind of organizing my bug out bags for the seasonal changeover and all that kind of a thing. One of the things that's happened is I lose pocket knives a lot. You know, folding fixed blade knives, I just lose them. It happens. I've been fortunate this year, last year, and not lost a Leatherman tool, but I think I've gone through a couple of folding karambits and a SOG and a Spyderco, which are now MIA. And it's, you know, it sucks, but I go through those and they're MIA now. But something I found that is pretty good in the world of fixed blade knives is over at Big 5 Sports. They get some sale prices on some of their, I wouldn't say proprietary brand, but, you know, Chinese made, but American branded type stuff. These M-Tech knives are kind of roughly actually based on a Spanish Aetor design, made out of 440 stainless steel. It's good metal. It comes with a nice hard side sheath right here. You get these on sale anywhere from 10 to 25 bucks, depending on what the price, what's going on with that. Full tang design. The rear tang actually screws on with a Allen bolt. Pretty solid, decent construction actually. And this, you know, this could cover your requirement for a fixed blade knife. I personally am not real big on this whole belly, you know, large belly design, but I guess they feel that it can be used as a chopper cutter that way a little bit better as a utility knife. The saw teeth on the back are mainly decorative. I almost really wish it didn't have them. This one was one hell of a good find. This is they call it the Walther P99 knife, Walther P99 tactical knife. Now, it has a leaf blade design, which would be reminiscent of one of the Rex Applegate designs. Definitely larger and thicker than, let's say, a Fairbairn Sykes design. The other thing they've done to comply with a lot of California laws, because Big 5 is a California-based company and they're one of the major retailers for these, is they went with a single edge, they went with a partial double here, and then, you know, some saw teeth which are largely decorative. Again, I wish they just left those off and made it smooth across the back. It's a composite handle, which means there's kind of a harder core with a softer rubberized gripping area. We've got a balance point, which is a little bit forward, 440 stainless steel, good metal, nothing wrong with that. Part of what is the difference between a cheaper knife for cheap money versus a more expensive knife that's going to be a very similar design and made out of the same metal. For example, if Gerber were to sell this knife, it would, or Cold Steel were to sell a knife like that, it would be a hell of a lot sharper. And that's what really accounts for the price difference between something like a Cold Steel and a Gerber or a Kershaw versus, let's say, the Smith & Wesson and Walther brand stuff that's almost always Chinese made and kind of sold through a chain store. Is that they're made out of the same metal. It's just that one sharpened a hell of a lot better than the other, and you end up paying for that. Now, if you have more time than money on your hands, you simply take the time to sharpen it. I use this power sander here, set up with a pretty fine sanding belt to sharpen this stuff and touch it up. I've also, you know, we can use it for sharpening tools and shovels and axes and all that kind of stuff. You're on my channel. I am not Wrangler Star, man. I do not play around with stones and files for 2 hours to sharpen a tool. I get it done, I get out, I get to work. Okay? And so yeah, quick little review on these Walther P99 knives. You can find a good Big 5, or you find them on eBay or Amazon. They're good shit. They really are. I'm going to try and find a link to an Amazon C-store from somebody who, you know, I'd like to benefit from the sale on these things. But for some of the people, the groups I'm trying to help coordinate a little bit, I'm going to put this out there. Okay, if you get one of these and you're going to come into our knife fighting classes, you're not going wrong with this. The other one to look at is the Cold Steel rubber training knife. Because the balance between this and the sizing between this and a Cold Steel rubber training knife means that the skills you develop with one are going to translate reasonably well over to the other. The other thing is, if you get 2 or 3 of these and you want to use them for the throwing practice and the throwing portion of our training, this is going to be just fine. I've played around a little bit with these as a thrower, they're going to be perfect for that. And if you hit the sale price, like I said, $15, $20 each, $25 at the most. Don't sweat getting specialized throwers. And I'm going to, at this stage, because of the pricing, because these come with a nice sheath, I would favor this over the cold steel thrower that we had previously been discussing. Okay, that spear point cold steel thrower, they're okay, but they're no longer as cheap as they used to be. So go to your Big 5 or go into one of the links below and take a look at this Walther P99 tactical knife. They don't come super sharp, but we can solve that problem with the tools and stuff that we have. If you're going to use it for the throwing class or the throwing practice, don't worry about sharpening it. We're going to have the foam targets set up. You're not throwing them at wood.